Hello, my Patreon people, specifically my apprentice patrons. Class is in session. Did you know that you can diagnose your own self, your own sickness or ailments based on their spiritual roots? Every sickness in our body has a spiritual root. For example, did you know that mucus carries negative energy? So that's one reason. And also scientifically, it carries, the bad stuff in our body that we want to eject and get rid of, that we don't want in our lungs and airways. But it also, in the spiritual sense, um, attracts negative energy, holds negative energy, which is why you want to get the mucus out of you, right? Which is why when you're sick sometimes you may have a lot of mucus, or when you're going through a, tough spiritual situation, you may have a lot of mucus or mucus buildup because that's a buildup of negative energy in your body needing to be released. Also using the bathroom is also a release of negative energy as well. So interesting how, sometimes science and the spiritual realm coincide together. Cleansing your body is also a release of spiritual energy, which is why you should also make your showers or your baths a spiritual ritual as well. I myself like to take baths because I do so many readings a day, and I'm just, doing so much stuff a day and taking on so much energy that I like to really get in the bath and prepare the bath, put sea salt in it, some bentonite clay and things like that that will draw out the negative energy so that when I get out, and not only do I feel physically fresh and renewed and clean, but also spiritually clean. But there's different ways you can do it too in the shower. You can use essential oils in the shower that are really cleansing oils like frankincense. Lavender is also a cleansing oil, clove, cinnamon. Cinnamon's also mainly for protection, though, but cinnamon does have cleansing and antiviral and things of that property. So science and spirituality can coincide a lot together. So sorry about that, maintenance. Oh gosh, let me go back to my notes. So in this class, Patreon class, we are going to be talking about how to identify your ailment based on its spiritual root, and therefore how maybe you can see on the spiritual side, Spirit is working with you to maybe show you signs that you need to pay attention to this in your life, or hey, you need to pay attention to more of this in your life. Sometimes Spirit has messages for you when you get sick or when you have aches and things like that. So let's get into it, all right? What we're mainly going to be talking about, and you may want to take notes, I actually am using my notebook. This is my, I guess you could call, witch book that I have all my notes in that I've gathered throughout the years from readings and just stuff that comes to me and, things of that nature. So we're going to be talking about the zodiac sign and their body, the zodiac signs and the ruling body parts. So we're going to be talking about the zodiac signs and what body parts they rule, basically, and how you can diagnose yourself based on maybe if you're having issues in these certain areas of your body, based on the zodiac sign, the ruling planet, the things associated with that. So let's get into it. So if you are having headaches or anything going on with the head, the eyes, the adrenals, or your blood pressure, this is Aries energy, all right? Aries rules the head, the eyes, the adrenals, and blood pressure. Aries in astrology rules one's physical appearance, so often you can see the physical symptoms of these sometimes in yourself or in others, that they're going through something. For example, when someone has high blood pressure, they may tend to swell up if they get stressed out, or they'll have physical symptoms or something like that. If you have a headache, you literally show physical symptoms of a headache. Sometimes you just can't hide that you have a headache, right? Your eyes obviously are the windows to the soul, the first things people see. Sometimes they'll be red, that's a sign that something's wrong. So Aries, tends to show physical symptoms. Like I was saying, Aries is also one's self-image. Aries is also aggression, war, bloodshed. All right, so you really want to be careful when it comes to pushing yourself, further if you have any issues in this area of your life with, a headache or something like that, or some issues with your eyes, because sometimes Aries can be about pushing oneself to their limit or seeing how far oneself can go. But if you're having issues in this area or this area of your body, you may be also holding things, back. There may be something about you where maybe you're not seeing yourself the way you should be seen. Maybe there's something about you where you don't like what you see in the mirror, because once again, Aries is, physical um, appearance. So often, if we don't like what we see in the mirror, well, we treat ourselves the way we feel, which, can sometimes play your emotions in here as well. Um, Aries can also be pushing yourself to the limit, pushing yourself too far, then your body can go. For example, hunger headaches. You haven't eaten all day, but you're still trying to push yourself and get everything done and do this and that. And then you get a hunger headache because your body can't work anymore past its limit. It needs energy, it needs food. So this is Aries. Second would be Taurus. Taurus is the second house in astrology, by the way. Aries is the first house, the rising sign. Taurus is the second house. So this is your neck, your throat, your shoulders, and your ears. You ever have an ear infection or a throat infection? Those are the worst. Or even mucus building in your throat, God forbid. All right, maybe there's something you need to say that you're holding back. All right, maybe spirit is trying to hold you back from saying more. Maybe, I don't know. Um, Sometimes in someone's shoulders, people slouch. You can tell someone's confidence in their shoulders when there's a lack of confidence. Sometimes the shoulders can be very tight like this or something like that. And the ears take in so much energy as well throughout the day, throughout a lifetime. You hear so much, you listen so much, you internalize so much, like goes straight sometimes from the ears to the heart, or from the ears to the brain, or, like the ears take in a lot. It's a spiritual gateway, just like the eyes, which was Aries. So, um, Taurus deals with ownership. So, is there something you need to own in your life? Is there a truth you need to own up to? This can be as deep as, you really want to be an actor, a pop singer, a pop star, or someone who's famous, but your family has put you on the trajectory your whole life of being a doctor. But you've never said, I don't want to be a doctor. So every now and then, it shows up in physical ailments, and maybe specifically in the throat, in the neck, the shoulders, the ears, something like that. Or maybe you just take in so much throughout the day, so much negativity that you get an ear infection. You got to clean your ears out, your ear gateways. Sometimes you got to listen to positive music. Tell yourself positive things, right? Speak positive things into the, ethereal realm. Pray. Those are spiritual ways of healing the throat chakra, which is Taurus, right? You can also speak of this as chakras. Aries would be the third eye chakra or the crown chakra, right? Next is Gemini, which is the third house, which rules the lungs, all right, wherever the lungs are around here, all right, the nerves throughout your body, the arms, the fingers, and the hands. Think of how much stuff your fingers and hands touch throughout the day. Like, oh, gotta clean yourself, right? Um, but Gemini, being the ruled by the third house in astrology, Mercury, is your childhood. It's your upbringing, what you were taught growing up. So if you were never taught good hygiene growing up, you've got to learn that yourself. By adulthood in order to stay healthy and have a healthy immune system. Because, you're from your arms, to your fingers, to your hands, to your mouth, God forbid, right, to your eyes, all right, Aries and Taurus energy, affecting your eyesight and your throat to your lungs. Have you ever had chest congestion? I hate chest congestion, right? But sometimes with Gemini, you can be so going so quick throughout life that you don't take the time to like kind of remember the basics of life. Like you got to wash your hands. You got to watch what you say. You got to not be so naive and trust everything or everyone. You got to do your part. Because sometimes Gemini's like a child just going throughout life, touching everything, la di da di da, so that's sometimes how Gemini, that energy can check you, and you're with dealing with your lungs, your nerves, your arms, your hands. Also, being flexible throughout life, understanding that there's always more to learn. There's always more deeper things to learn. Where in your life are you hitting a wall in your learning process or your expressing process, your communication process? Because Gemini's communication, intellect, the mind. What do you need to learn more? What do you need to push yourself more? So, all right. And if I've uploaded to YouTube by now, this is the end of that video, so you can watch the rest on Patreon.